wife of Atri. You're very late. Who's doing the recording?
Krishna Maharaj. Sorry, Maharaj. I missed starting the recording.
Yeah, you have to come on time if you're going to do recording.
Oh, I was there, Maharaj, but I just missed starting to record.
You forgot to turn on the recording.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to remind you next time.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Okay, Anasuya, the wife of Atri, she gave birth to 3 sons, right? You remember the Leela? Atri and Anasuya. They wanted what kind of son? Did they want 3 sons? Who remembers what happened in the beginning of the 4th canto? What happened, Anasuya and Atri? Did they want 3 sons?
Dattatreya was born, who was like having the quality of all Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva.
Dattatreya was born with the qualities of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva?
And Shiva. 3 in 1.
3 in 1.
Okay, anybody else?
Hare Krishna.
Acha, Mataji se.
No, it's okay. Mataji.
Nahin,
Don't fight. Okay. Go ahead. One of you go ahead. Then we'll hear the other one. Yes?
Okay. They meditated on Lord of the universe. They did not know who the Lord is. They were not so knowledgeable. And so 3 of them came, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar, 3 of them came and blessed them.
Yeah.
And Dattatreya was born. I don't remember otherwise or anything else.
Okay.
Maharaj, of course, they did have 3 sons. So, but like the Dattatreya's pastime comes out very like prominently. Otherwise, Durvasa, Som, they were also born from them. But Dattatreya is like because all 3 of them like combined together, so that's why. Otherwise, they have 3 sons, anyways.
Yeah, it said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada writes, he describes that when the 3 appeared, then they asked, which one of you is the Supreme Lord? Right? And what did they say? How did they answer? Which one was the Supreme Lord? They all said, we're the Supreme Lord. And they were all the Supreme Lord. They were all different forms of the Supreme Lord. So, Atri Muni, is that Prabhupada writes, he was not a pure devotee. He was not a pure devotee because he didn't know, didn't know what was the form of the Lord. And he knew there was a Supreme Lord, but he didn't know he couldn't recognize the Lord. So Prabhupada said he was not a pure devotee. Anyway, the 3 came, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, they all came, and they all said, we're all the Lord. And so they became the sons of Anasuya and Atri Muni. And here it says, Anasuya was impregnated by the tears of Atri. So here it was saying Soma was born from the tears in the eyes of Atri. But the Vedas say that Soma was born from the mind of the personality of Godhead. But this is a different time, took place in a different millennium. All right, so Soma was born anyway, the son of Atri and Anasuya. So Soma was very powerful. He was able to conquer the 3 worlds. And then he performed the Rajasuya Yagna. Now the Rajasuya Yagna, you have to be really powerful. You have to have everybody in submission to you. Right? When Maharaj Yudhisthira wanted to do Rajasuya Yagna, the Pandavas had to go in different directions and take taxis from everyone, and everyone had to surrender. So here we have Soma performing a great yagna, but he's not like Maharaj Yudhisthira. Maharaj Yudhisthira was a very humble and pure soul. Here we see Soma, that he's very much puffed up. And he was so proud and so contaminated in his mind that he stole away the wife of Brihaspati. So that was a very bad way to behave. He's supposed to be a demigod in charge of the moon, and he's given responsibility of drugs and looking over the demigods. And he's stolen away Brihaspati's wife. So Brihaspati and Soma have a conflict. They have a naturally. So Brihaspati wants his wife back. But Soma didn't want to return the wife. And there was a big fight. And the demigods and the demons fought. Now, Brihaspati is the guru of the demigods. And Soma is also a demigod. But somehow it happened that the fight is between the demigods and the demons. So the next purport explains what happened, how there was some bitter feelings between some of the demigods and Brihaspati. Brihaspati didn't just have a problem with Soma, but there was also bitter feelings between Brihaspati and the demigod Sukra. And Sukra, he took the side of the moon god. He joined with Soma against Brihaspati. And the demons also joined them. So the demons were all fighting with Soma and Sukra, who were both demigods. So some demigods were on the side of the demons. And Lord Shiva, he had affection for the son of his spiritual master. The son of his spiritual master was Brihaspati. Lord Shiva had taken knowledge from Angira. So Angira was like one of the spiritual masters of Lord Shiva. And Brihaspati was the son of Angira. So Lord Shiva, because of affection for the son of his spiritual master, remember spiritual masters Angira, so the son of Angira was Brihaspati. So Lord Shiva joined the side of Brihaspati. And he was accompanied by all of his all the ghosts and hobgoblins, all of the entourage of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva has many people who accompany him wherever he goes, and many of the followers of Lord Shiva are ghosts and also hobgoblins. So quite a scene. You can understand it's a big fight. Lord Shiva is fighting for the demigods and Brihaspati, and they're all fighting against Soma and Shukra. So this mentality of friends and enemies is there again. We heard about this yesterday, and again it's here today. Friends and enemies. Shukra was an enemy of Brihaspati, so he joined the moon god to retaliate in wrath against Brihaspati. So Brihaspati, he's lost his wife, and he has to have a big fight, try to get his wife back. So this is the situation. Now Brihaspati is the guru of the demigods, very learned. But he's lost his wife. His wife has been taken by Soma. So it's a big issue. And Lord Shiva is fortunate, he has some feelings for Brihaspati, so he joins the fight. Okay, and then we'll go on. Text number 7, Indra accompanied all kinds of demigods. He took the side of Brihaspati. They're demigods. Brihaspati is the guru, so naturally Indra should be on their side. So there's a great fight. Demigods and demons, only for the sake of one woman, Tara, Brihaspati's wife. So this is nothing unusual. We see Battle of Kurukshetra. Actually, the whole Battle of Kurukshetra was around one woman, because Draupadi had been insulted. The Battle of Kurukshetra took place. So here we see demigods and demons also fighting. And some of the demigods have joined the side of the demons. And in this way, demigods are fighting against demigods. And the whole issue is one woman, Brihaspati's wife, Tara. All right, so this is the story. So Lord Brahma was informed by Angira about the whole situation. And when he heard about it, he was very upset, and he chastised the moon god, Soma. So then Lord Brahma brought Tara to her husband being Brihaspati. But when he brought the girl there, the wife, Tara, then the husband could immediately understand that his wife was pregnant. She'd been away from home, she'd been with another man, and she's come back pregnant. What would you think? My goodness, huh? So Brihaspati, naturally, he's very angry, and he chastises his wife that your womb was meant for me to impregnate, and you've gone off and involved with another man. So he orders her, immediately deliver your child. Somehow she must have had that ability that she could deliver the child at her own will. And he comforts her in some ways. He promises, he said that after the child is born, I shall not burn you to ashes. I know you were unchaste, and I know you wanted a son. So I will not punish you. And so this is the leniency of Brihaspati, tolerant, is tolerating the condition of his wife, the fact that his wife was unfaithful. He's able to put up with it. It's unusual, but anyway, this is the liberal nature of Brihaspati. So Prabhupada writes that, well, Brihaspati's wife, if she'd been chaste, she should have been impregnated by him. But instead, she'd gone off, she'd been taken away by force with another man, and she's come back pregnant. So she's certainly considered unchaste. So the wife was certainly afraid of her husband, and she thought that he's going to punish her after she gives birth.
আমি কিছু করেছি, কোশ্চেন অ্যান্সারের তৈরি হয়েছে একটা চ্যাপ্টার এটা, আর তোমার NY.
Mataji, can you please go on mute?
Thank you, Maraji. So Brihaspati told her he would not punish her, for although she was unchaste and had become pregnant illicitly, he wanted a son. Brihaspati wanted a son. So he was happy in a sense that, oh, we can have a son. My wife is pregnant, even though it's not my child, but still my wife is delivering it. So I'm happy to have a son. So Brihaspati was thinking it's okay, you know, that it's all right, have a son. And by the order of Brihaspati, the wife immediately gave birth to the child, and the child is described here, very beautiful, golden bodily color. Brihaspati and the moon god Soma desired the beautiful child. So both of them want the son. This is another conflict. Now Brihaspati, he wants the son. He thinks, well, my wife has delivered the child, so I'll take the son. And he was very happy. Saw the son, very, very good looking, very nice qualities, very good to have a son like that. So Brihaspati was willing to take the son. But Soma was there, and Soma could understand, well, this is my son. I'm the one who impregnated her, and it's my child, so I should get the son. So again, another fight comes up. Soma and Brihaspati, they have this problem, they have this dispute, who should get the child. And so Brahma comes and they have to ask her, the two of them were asking her, whose child, all the demigods, all the saints present, they all said, whose child is it? Because whoever is the father, he should get the child. So they were asking Tara. The woman knows who's the father, right? When the woman is pregnant, she knows who's made her pregnant. It's not a mystery to her. So she can tell who's the father of the child. So the newborn baby was wanted by both Brihaspati and Soma. And Tara was afraid to answer. All the demigods and saints are asking her, who's the father? Who's the father of the child? But she was ashamed, and she did not like to say anything. So then Lord Brahma comes forward. Oh, is it Lord Brahma? Somebody, the child, then became very angry. the child became very angry. Somehow the child's already speaking, became very angry and demanded that his mother immediately tell the truth. And the child says to the mother, "You unchaste woman, what is the use of your unnecessary shame? Why do you not admit your fault? Immediately tell me about your faulty behavior." So the child is speaking like this to the mother. You can understand, child is not ordinary. And then we see Lord Brahma appearing. And Lord Brahma brings Tara to a quiet place. He takes her away from everyone. And then he asks her quietly, "All right, who is the father of your child?" And then she immediately admits that she's very slowly, she tells Lord Brahma, "This is the son of Soma, the moon god." So when she said that, then the moon god took charge of the child. So Brihaspati didn't get the child. So that was a disappointment for Brihaspati, because the child was certainly very nice, very attractive, and he thought it would be very good to have that child. But anyway, it wasn't his child, so it was taken by Soma. And this child was given the name Buddha, Bud, meaning deeply intelligent. Lord Brahma saw that the child was deeply intelligent. And the moon god, Soma, he enjoyed great jubilation because of this son. He's very happy to have such a wonderful son. It's a great blessing for him. He didn't get the wife went back to Brihaspati, but he got the son. And then the son also, he has his wife, and in the course of time he also gets a wife, and he has his son. And from Bud came through the womb of Ila, a son was born named Pururava. All right, now we're going to hear about Pururava in this chapter. He was already mentioned in the beginning of the 9th canto, very briefly. It just mentioned that he was the son of Bud, and Bud was the son of Soma. So, this Pururava is described, that his beauty, personal quality, magnanimity, behavior, wealth, and power were described by Narada in the court of Lord Indra. So you can understand, he was this Pururava is very special, that Narada Muni is glorifying his wonderful qualities. And when he goes to the court of Indra, he's talking to them about this Pururava, about the wonderful qualities of this person. So at that time, in the court of Indra, the celestial woman Urvasi was listening, and she was hearing the glories about this person Pururava. And she was thinking, "Oh, what a wonderful man this is." And her heart was pierced by the arrow of Cupid, and she became very much eager to meet this Pururava and have some association, have some relationship with him. And this is what happens, that this Pururava gets involved with Urvasi. Urvasi is one of the ladies, like a society woman in the court of Indra, whose job is there to give pleasure to the different visitors who come to the court. Right? It's the court of King Indra. Indra is the king of heaven, and people come to enjoy And to enjoy, they have these wonderful ladies there. People like Urvasi, who is a very, very sensual, very attractive woman who can attract the mind of men everywhere. And just like Draupadi, Draupadi was another similar woman. Draupadi was not from earth, really. She was born from the fire. When Dronacharya did the fire, he got a son, Drishtadyumna, to kill Drona. But he also got the daughter, and that daughter was Draupadi. So she was born from the sacrificial fire, and she was exquisitely beautiful, and people would see her, they would become completely captivated, they would become immediately agitated, just seeing the beauty, and the aroma from the body of Draupadi was so amazing that everyone would just swoon at the beauty and the aroma, and her wonderful features. It was so pleasing, so sensuous, and especially among Kshatriya kings, because Kshatriya kings are sensuous people, that they like to enjoy, they like a lot of pleasure, and they get a lot of pleasure from enjoying young women, and they keep a lot of women in their palace just for that purpose. So Urvasi was one of these ladies who was kept in the palace of Indra, just for enjoyment. But she heard Narada Muni speaking about Pururava, and her mind became attracted. So we may question, well, why did Narada Muni have to go to Indra and speak about Pururava? Why couldn't he just glorify Lord Krishna? Wouldn't it have been better? They could have avoided the whole incident, the whole conflict between the different kings. They could have avoided all the trouble if Narada Muni had just spoken about the glories of Lord Krishna. Why did he have to speak about Pururava? And especially in the court of Indra. Well, we know Indra is, he always has many different problems. He falls down. Sometimes he goes astray. He does bad things sometimes. And here's Narada Muni going there and speaking about this young man, Pururava, and glorifying his wonderful qualities. What can we say about this? Any comment? Is Narada Muni to blame for this incident of Pururava getting involved with Urvasi?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. It was Urvashi was already cursed. She was scheduled for coming to this art. So perhaps Narad Muni wanted to be part, helping that thing out, the whom she could be with and on this earth.
Thank you for this. Yeah, that could be one possible reason, that Urvasi was destined to come to earth and to play the role like an earthly woman.
Maharaj, I feel as we see Pururava's case, like we will see later on, that Pururava was also instrumental in initiating practically the Yoga Dharma of this next Yuga, which is the Treta Yuga, by starting the Yagya. So because he's coming at the juncture of Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga. So that's a very important role, I believe. And Pururava being instrumental, Urvashi playing a catalyst in that. So this seems to be
Urvasi
part
playing
of
a catalyst.
God's.
In what way she's a catalyst?
I mean, it's because of his infatuation for Urvashi that he went on and then had this yagya procedure started, which was not prevalent in the Satya Yuga, but it started from the, yeah, I think Mara, there are other people, microphone is turned on. So anyway,
Yes, it's very troublesome.
anyway,
I
so then,
cannot hear you properly, Prabhu, without the noise.
yes, Maharaj, for the sake of brevity, I'm repeating, Maharaj. So I'm saying that I understand such incidences like Pururava initiating practically the Yuga Dharma of the age, Yagya. That was because of his infatuation for Urvashi. So in that sense, if Pururava is an instrument and Urvashi is the catalyst. So lords, I think that they fall very nice, I mean, very useful to the plan of the Lord to usher in the next Yuga's Yuga Dharma. So in that sense, although they may be acting like a materialist, look like a materialist, nevertheless, the Lord is taking a very important role or important service from the materialist, regardless how much we dislike Pururava or Urvashi, or might be difficult for us to digest their character. They're that bad. I don't understand, and why then if they're that bad, that why would Lord Vishnu have them as the persons inaugurating the Yuga Dharma for the Treta Yuga? So maybe this Krishna sees things differently.
Yes, definitely. Krishna sees things and we cannot understand always the vision of Krishna, what Krishna's plan is, but certainly has some plan. Anyway, it happened that Narada Muni went there to the court of Indra, and Urvasi, her heart was pierced by the arrow of Cupid. And so she comes to earth and she approaches Pururava. She has come to meet him and to find, as is mentioned here, that Urvasi, she had been cursed by Mitra and Varuna. So we heard about Mitra and Varuna in the previous chapter, how they had seen Urvasi and become attracted to her, and it caused them to discharge their semen, and from that semen, then Vashishta was born. So Mitra and Varuna, they had cursed Urvasi that she would acquire the habits of a human being. In other words, she would come to earth, and she would be on this earth planet. So we understand also there's a difference between people on the higher planets and on the earthly planet. And we'll be hearing about that. The habits of a human being. Urvasi had acquired the habits of a human being. What particularly were these habits which were different from a woman in the heavenly planets? Would anybody like to comment? Do you have any information on that? Women in the heavenly planets and women on this planet? Of course, here in the text it's going to mention about, that she will only eat food cooked in ghee, and the man should never be naked except at the time when they're having union together. But any other habits about that? The lifestyle, the demigods and human beings?
Now, in the previous chapters, I think maybe in the previous canto somewhere, it also said that the women in the higher planets, they have good aroma, and because of which the whole atmosphere of the heavenly planets was very good. So we had some description on that.
Okay, yes, thank you. Yeah, nice aroma coming from the bodies of the heavenly planets, the ladies on the heavenly planets. That was one thing, and
Maharaj,
yeah,
Maharaj, in the previous only cantos, they said that, the earthly ladies, they look like horses in front of the heavenly damsels. And the gopis of Vrindavan are so beautiful that the heavenly damsels, they look like horses. So, I mean, they're so beautiful, the heavenly ladies. And the gopis are super, super beautiful compared to the heavenly ladies. This is what.
horses, huh? Ah, that's a new one. And usually, I heard I heard it was frogs before. Horses is a bit better.
Yes, Maharaj. Somewhere it says that, like, compared to the demigods, we human beings look like monkeys. So there
Yeah.
can. But the point is, Maharaj, what, like, as I understand the question you asked, women in heavenly planet are considered to be like more like, kind of, in the sense, if I, for a lack of better word, more independent as compared to, like, in this world, in our earthly planet, where, like, as Manu says, that they should be kept under, they should be like under some sort of guardianship. But in the heavenly planets, they are like, it seems to be that they are free.
But, well, maybe if they're better taken care of, maybe then Tara wouldn't have been stolen away by Soma, and they could have avoided that conflict.
Maharaj, I have a question, Maharaj.
Yes?
Brihaspati is the guru of the Devatas, and Soma is also one of the Devatas, right?
Yes?
Then how can he steal his guru's wife?
Well, that's what we're talking about. The whole thing is not very good, is it? It's very, very improper behavior. There's no proper culture or etiquette. So I was saying, if the women were properly taken care of, then it wouldn't happen. Of course, she was a married woman, so the husband should have been able to take care of his wife. And the husband was Brihaspati, and Tara was his wife. He should have taken care of his wife. But somehow...
She also did not protest, Maharaj.
Yeah, she went off with the moon god, right? She was attracted to him, it seems. I don't know. We're not told she did not protest, but certainly, they went off together, and she comes back pregnant.
Yes, Maharaj, like, the Bhagavatam does not even say that she was kidnapped. So there was consent involved.
Oh. So then there's something very bad about the character of Tara, right? That she can go off with another man. Maybe is it something about the women of the heavenly planets that they're very loose and they can give up one man and go off with another man?
But Maharaj, if we see in text number 4, the translation says that because he was very puffed up, the moon god forcibly kidnapped Brihaspati's wife. So it doesn't seem like he went on.
Then it is kidnapped.
Huh?
Then it's kidnapped, Maharaj. Then it's a kidnapping.
Yes. So she was kidnapped. So then it was by force then.
Yeah, it's forcible.
We can't say that she was just going off, that she was kidnapped. Yeah, so it's not really her fault if she was taken away by another man. Then it would be very difficult for her to maintain her chastity. And she's taken away by another man, especially.
But
Yeah?
from the side of moon god, I mean, he's kidnapping his own guru's wife. She's like a mother. Guru's wife is Guru Patni, is mother, one of the seven mothers.
Yeah, should be. Should be, yeah, definitely is one of the mothers. So, how is it possible that she can come back pregnant?
Yeah.
So Maharaj,
Hare Krishna.
sorry.
Acha, acha. No, no, you continue. Sorry.
Maharaj, do we have to learn, like, what is the consequence of lust? This is what the pastime is trying to teach us, that, it is so strong that you lose your, because there's a question also in our handbook, that what is the consequence of lust? So you lose your good sense. They are all they're great personalities. So, but the power of lust is so strong that one does not discriminate and does not think. Maybe that is the lesson that I mean, it is just a lesson for us through their example.
Certainly, it's a lesson for us. It's a powerful lesson. How is lust described in Bhagavad Gita? The all-devouring sinful enemy,
It burns like fire.
never satisfied. So, yeah, and even in the higher planets, there will also be that lust. You're not going to get away from it. It's not just here on our earthly planet, but on the higher realm also. Even the demigods who are supposed to be cultured and pious, that they're also prone to be victims of that lust. They're prone to be degraded. So we're told, if you look at text 18, the purport here, there's a description about Pururava, because of course, this is the grandson of Soma. The son who was born from Soma and Tara was called Buddha, and then he had a grandson named Pururava. Now Pururava is described that he's the best of males. Although he was born, it was a premarital birth. The mother was not married, and she has the child by this other man. But the child who was born has very amazing qualities. Well, that was the first child, right? Buddha was very wonderful. And when Brihaspati saw the child and Soma saw him, they both wanted him. That was the problem. That was the dispute. They were fighting, If the child had been deformed or miserable or something, unattractive, then they wouldn't have wanted him. But when they saw the child, that he was so effulgent and very intelligent also, then they wanted him. And they thought, this child is perfect for my son, even though he wasn't their son. So they had a dispute over it. Anyway, Soma gets a son, and then the Buddha, he has his son, and that's Pururava. And Pururava is described the best of males, whose beauty resembled that of Cupid. She controlled herself and then approached him. So Urvasi saw Pururava and she approached him. And when Pururava saw Urvasi, his eyes became jubilant in the ecstasy of joy, and the hairs on his body stood on end. With mild, pleasing words, he spoke to her as follows. So we see this kind of situation, you get people having children, they're not married, and they have a child. So usually, often happens, premarital sex, and then the child is born out of marriage and is brought up in that kind of atmosphere. And he may be very, very good looking, or he or she may be very good looking, very attractive. But often there are problems with these kind of children. And you do find a lot of like drug addiction and other different social problems coming from children born into that kind of situation. Isn't it true? Around the world, we find a lot of young women, they have a child without marriage. And they're forced to, the child is brought up in a one-parent home. He may be brought up by the mother, or he may be brought up by the father. Now, here it sounds like that child Bud, who was born from Tara, he was taken by the moon god Soma. Soma took the child and brought him up. Tara she must have stayed with Brihaspati, stayed with her husband. But Soma took the child. So he was brought up in that situation. Bud was the child, and Bud grows up, and then he has his own son, he has his son, and that is Pururava. So Pururava is going to be a bit like his grandfather. Right? The son usually will have the quality of the mother, and the mother will have, she should have had the qualities of her father. So Pururava should have been like his grandfather. He should have been like Soma. Anyway, Soma is very attractive. And Pururava is described the best of males. So what does it mean when it said he's the best of males? Is it enough for a man just simply to be physically attractive? Srila Prabhupada described about flowers. He said, a flower which has no fragrance. It may be beautiful, but it has no smell. He said, it's like a good-looking man who has bad qualities. You get sometimes young men, they can be very good-looking, they're very well-built and healthy-looking and strong and tall, and they look very nice, but they may have the most degraded qualities. Their character may be very poor. They can engage in all kinds of nonsense activities. So Prabhupada said that's like a flower which has no smell. So certainly, young men described, Pururava is described the best of males. What kind of qualities would you expect from someone who is the best of males? Certainly, it's described beauty like that of Cupid. So that's enough for Urvasi. Urvasi may be happy like that. She wants a good-looking man. And Pururava, he's happy. He wants a good-looking woman. So you can see, the whole thing is based on the body, the bodily, the external appearance. This is what people base their whole life around, the body looking good and making oneself attractive. This means a lot to people, and people are often willing to sacrifice their character just for the sake of attracting the other sex. Okay. Okay, we'll take a break, I think. We've been going for an hour. Let's take a break for 10 minutes. Hare Krishna. Yeah, we'll have a break, Maharaji. Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhus, welcome back. So we were hearing, first of all, about the encounter between Soma with Brihaspati's wife Tara, and how that led to the birth of a child named Buddha. And later on, Buddha had his own child, was named Pururava, whose beauty was described. And this child, this son of Pururava, Pururava, he is the one who is attracting Urvasi. And the two of them become very happy to have each other's company. Pururava's apparently, well, don't know that has any other woman, but he's certainly attracted to Urvasi, and Urvasi's very attracted to him. So Srila Prabhupada quotes from the Bhagavatam 7.9.45, Yan Maichunadi Grehamedi Isukam Tujam. He taught this, of course, is Prahlad Maharaj's prayer to Lord Nrsingadev. Prahlad Maharaj is talking about the nature of sex desire, that is compared to an itching on the skin. It's like an itching and irritation on the skin, and when the skin is itching, you want to scratch, and the more you scratch, then the more problem you have with the skin. So sexual relationships are like that. The whole material world is based on this attraction between men and women. And people are not very much educated or trained how to deal with these kind of forces, with the sex desire, with the lust which comes. And we become victims of it. We become conquered by it. It's very powerful. So it happened here with Pururava and Urvasi, and they enjoyed relationships together. But Urvasi had some conditions. She had some lambs with her. She had 2 lambs with her, and these 2 lambs were like her sons. And they had come with her from heaven. And she says here, she says that they have fallen down with me. But you have to give protection to not only me, but you have to take care of my 2 lambs. They've come with me. And I will be happy to enjoy with you, but you have to take care of my lambs also. And she says to him, I have no objection to accepting you as my husband, for you are superior in every respect. So this is an important point. Of course, when it comes to marriage arrangements, ideally the man should be superior to the woman. It's often a problem today. We see women working We see women also educated, women also doing postgraduate degrees. It's very common in the Western world for women to go on and do postgraduate degrees and master's degrees and doctorates. And then, of course, the more they're educated, then the more difficult it is for them to find a husband. But you don't find so many men are very eager to go on and pursue their education and to take postgraduate degrees. It's more fashionable for women to do these things. But once they do these things, then it becomes difficult for them to find a man equal to them. You get in the Western world, you'll see a lot of women that they may have PhDs, but their husbands are not educated. Their husbands maybe never even went to university, didn't even get a degree. Well, it's difficult for them, of course. Ideally, the man and woman should be matched. They should be compatible. They should be equal, or the man should be even better, superior to the woman, so that the woman can give proper respect to him. So if a man finds a woman from an inferior family, but she has good qualities, he can accept her as a wife, Chanakya Pandit says. And a woman who finds a man with superior qualities, she can accept a man as her husband. But the combination of male and female is best if the qualities of both of them are on an equal level. So when they're equal, then of course they're much easier to be compatible. So here you have Urvasi coming from the heavenly planets. She had been cursed, and she's come down to earth. And the inhabitants of the heavenly planets are definitely much superior to the inhabitants of earth. But Urvasi agrees to accept Pururava as a husband, although she's superior. So this makes the relationship a little tricky. That she's superior, she's of a higher culture. Although she's saying to him, "Oh, my hero," she's respecting him. You can see text 22, Urvasi said, "My dear hero, only preparations made in ghee will be my eatables, and I shall not want to see you naked." The great-minded King Pururava accepted these proposals. So you can see something of the standard of heavenly planets. They have certainly some culture. And Pururava is completely enamored, completely infatuated with her. He thinks she's the most beautiful, the most lovable, most desirable woman to have a relationship with. And he just cannot imagine any problem. So it's certainly nice to see the standards that she doesn't want to eat abominable things. She doesn't want to eat, she's not saying, "I have to go to McDonald's, I have to get fried chicken every day," or everything. But she's saying, everything should be prepared in ghee, should be cooked in ghee. In Krishna consciousness, of course, we like to cook for the deities with ghee. You have to be careful. If you take too much ghee, then certainly it can be detrimental to your health. But a little ghee, Prabhupada said, oil for outside the body and ghee for inside. Prabhupada liked that we would cook in ghee. And we used to make our own ghee. When I was in New York, in the temple there in Brooklyn, we would make our own ghee and cooking it for the programs, and people loved the food. People loved the prasadam there. And then, so she's particular about food, and she's also very conscious about not being naked. And Prabhupada talks how today, of course, we see people half naked. They walk around in the street, in the summertime especially. You know, they like to expose their bodies to people. But on the heavenly planets, the body's covered. And similarly, Prabhupada taught us, you know, why women wear a sari, the sari is meant to cover the body. And similarly, the dhoti, men wearing a dhoti, it takes the emphasis off the bodily condition. Wearing the dhoti, you don't have to show such the masculine form, the tight-fitting trousers, which people like to wear sometimes. So the Vedic dress is designed in such a way to cover the body. So Prabhupada describes how on the heavenly planets, people are not only very beautiful, both in complexion and bodily features, but are also well behaved and long living. And they eat first-class food in goodness. So these are very interesting characteristics, people on the heavenly planets. What could we say? Any comments on this? How do you feel that the standard of living on the earth compared to the heavenly planets? You know, people, we often describe a big building, a condominium. They may say heaven on earth. You know, the heavenly planets, you know, they try to describe the building, the condominium, that this is going to be like heaven. But we're a long way from heaven. It's not just putting the name heaven on the place. It's not just having a swimming pool or having a nice big condominium on the 30th floor somewhere in some city. What do you consider to be good living on the earth? The good standard of living? Any comments?
Well,
Very
Maharaj,
right, association of devotees.
Yes, association is very important, right?
well, Maharaj, as I understand, like heavenly planets, they are more certainly heavenly planets and heavenly people. They are more sattvic. That's why they are there. So,
More sattvic.
yeah, certainly they are more sattvic. That's why they are there. We are not there.
Okay.
Right,
Sattvic.
because
Sattvic in the sense that they're what? They're
as
happy.
they're happy as we see, their food habits are sattvic. They are
Okay.
like culture. They are more cultured. Their language, their clothes, whatever makes a culture. So all the components of culture are sattvic. as like compared to us. That's why I think our understanding of what the heaven is also tamasic or maybe rajasic, because we like being in Raju and Tamogun. So then we so much yearn for that. Oh, what is heaven? That means like you can drink like anything, make merry like anything. There are women, and that's like it all goes around that. Nobody talks about anything else. It's just like all over the world. You go to this Islamic culture, they will talk about, okay, 72 virgins, this thing, that thing. We are speaking here about like, okay, beautiful woman, or maybe Somarasa. Don't go far beyond that. It's our aspersions we are casting on the heaven. It's more sattvic, according to Prabhupada's purpose. That's why it takes austerity to go to heaven.
Thank you. Yeah, yes, it takes austerity. We have to be willing to be austere to get into heaven, right? But once you get into heaven, then we wonder there doesn't seem to be a lot of austerity there. The austerity may win you pious credits, but if it gets you into heaven, all your pious credits can be used up quickly and with all the sense gratification which is available there in heaven.
Yes, Maharaj, that's a fact. However, we also see that certain cases, like the basic central theme of Bhagavatam, of like the Paribhas, the Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam, the second line says that Krishna appears, or the avatars appear especially to protect the Indra. I don't see that happening with me. So certainly that person who has achieved that position has done austerity, and Krishna recognizes that.
Okay. Yes.
The whole point is like that I have noticed this tendency to deprecate heaven, and as a result of that, us developing a superiority complex. And that more than anything else is detrimental for any sadhaka, regardless where he is. So like that, then generally like the discussion around demigods and heavens is the idea is generally to put them down. Maybe that what's make us feel better, that we are like more as if we are like more, like entitled. So that's why I'm bringing this other side, like willfully playing the devil's advocate. You understand that obviously they are not like, there won't be much austerities because the people have done austerities to be there. But then the demigods, like the Lord Vishnu sides with the demigods. We cannot like overlook that part. In any conflict between the demons and the demigods, Vishnu sides with the demigods. Why would he side with them unless they have got certain qualities which Krishna likes? So that's why I'm saying. I'm not saying that like they are finished products. They are conditioned souls also. And that's why we were discussing this Tara and Brihaspati, or we are now discussing Urvashi. So there are heavenly people, but they have got their weaknesses. But when we make a comparison between us and them, so they are clearly in a superior position.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
That's what I think.
What is the scriptural reference for demigods being in sattvic state? Demigods of the day?
Yeah, that's why like middle planetary systems, upper planetary systems, and lower planetary systems. How do we categorize that? Based on Sattva,
Scriptural
Raj, and
reference? Is it a scriptural reference where you can say
but that's obviously.
demigods
Wow,
are sattvic?
Bhagavad Gita, Urdham Gacchati Sattvata, Madhya Tishtati Rajasa, Jaganna Gacchati Tamas, 18th chapter.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu, for that. Interesting to understand how the heavenly planets are definitely, people on the heavenly planets are certainly superior to the inhabitants on earth. So there are distinctions. Anyway, Urvasi had come down to earth and she was enjoying the company of Pururava, and they were enjoying each other. And they would travel. Oh, they would go to visit different places. They would go to Chitrarath, Nandanandana, Kanana, where the demigods enjoy. So their enjoyment was not just only on earthly planets. It appears that they were able to travel. Otherwise, how could they go to places where the demigods enjoy? The demigods, they don't come to earth to enjoy. There's other places, you know, they go around somewhere near Mount Meru and like that. They'll go and enjoy there. And so similarly, Pururava and Urvasi, they were also enjoying traveling. So it happened, after some time, described in text 26, Lord Indra is thinking what happened to Urvasi, that without Urvasi, my assembly is no longer beautiful. So he requests the Gandharvas to bring her back to his heavenly planet. Of course, she'd been cursed to fall down, and now the curse, maybe the time of the curse was over, and Indra wants to bring her back. So the Gandharvas, they're there to serve Lord Indra. Indra's the king of heaven, and his wish is their command. So the Gandharvas came to earth, and they make arrangements to attract Urvasi. What they did was they stole away the lambs. And they did it in the middle of the night. And then at the middle of the night, Urvasi could hear the two lambs crying. When they were being taken by the Gandharvas, the lambs began to cry. And Urvasi heard them. And she immediately chastised her husband. And she spoke very harsh words to him. And she really afflicted his heart. She said very strong words. That, what are you doing? What kind of husband are you? You lay like you're supposed to be a man, but you're just like a woman. And my two sons, the lambs, they've been taken away. You're not doing anything about it. So Pururava was struck by the harsh words of Urvasi. He said, like an elephant struck by the driver's pointed rod, and became very angry. Right? We see the elephants, and the elephant driver has that sharp instrument which they can stick into the elephant. So Pururava was like that. He was like the elephant who was being pierced by the sharp rod, and Urvasi was speaking these strong words to him. So he was affected. He took his sword and he went running to get the lambs back and to find out what had happened. He brought the two lambs back, but the Gandharvas, very cunningly, they shone brightly like lightning, and they illuminated the house of Pururava. And this way Urvasi saw her husband, and he was naked. And when she saw him like that, immediately she left. And so Pururava was broken-hearted. He was completely devastated and shattered that, oh, she's gone. He was so disturbed. And it said he began traveling about the earth like a madman, thinking, where did she go? What happened to her? Because all of a sudden, she just disappeared and she left him. Because she was from the higher planet. She had that kind of power. She could disappear. So it happened that one time while Pururava was traveling, he met Urvasi, and he met her. She was with 5 companions on the bank of the Saraswati at Kurukshetra. So he was very jubilant to meet her after a while. He'd been separated from her for some time, and he was so happy to meet her again. Because he's thinking, she's my wife. So he begs her, kindly stay. And he implores her, I know I never made you happy, but you shouldn't give me up. This is not a good reason. You should come and stay with me, never leave me. And now that you've refused me, Pururava tells Urvasi, said, because you've refused me, my beautiful body will fall down. And because it is unsuitable for your pleasure, it will be eaten by foxes and vultures. So this was Pururava lamenting like this, and Urvasi responds to this man, her husband, the hero, the king, and she's speaking words which are very powerful. Anyway, she implores him, don't be impatient and give up your life. Be sober. Don't allow the senses to overcome you like foxes. Don't let the foxes eat you. In other words, you should not be controlled by your senses. Rather, you should know that the heart of a woman is like that of a fox. There is no use making friendship with women. So, these are very powerful words coming from Urvasi. She's a woman herself, and she's condemning Pururava. That you're making friendship with women. Don't you know the nature of a woman? The heart of a woman is like that of a fox. So, Prabhupada quotes Chanakya Pandit, never put your faith in a woman or a politician. Women can disappoint you. Politicians certainly can disappoint you. However, if we are Krishna conscious, there is no problem. Everyone is equal. So Urvasi was a woman herself, and she knew the nature of a woman. A woman's heart is like that of a sly fox. And if a man cannot control his senses, he becomes a victim of such sly foxes. So, we ask you, how could this be improperly used in our preaching, in presenting the Krishna conscious philosophy? How many people do we have here today in the class?
22 people. Maharaj.
22, 23. So could we have like maybe three groups, or maybe I guess 6 groups would be better, right? 6. Could we make groups of 4? And then you can discuss how this could be improperly used. This kind of talking could be wrongly presented, and how should we present it properly so that people don't get the wrong impression about our Krishna conscious teachings.
Sure.
Can you do that, Maraji? Are you able to put devotees into groups?
Yes. So how many groups should we have, Maharaj?
6.
Okay.
And the question is how this kind of talking by Urvasi about the position of women, that how could this be wrongly used and wrongly presented, and how could this be harmful to our Krishna consciousness movement, and how should we present it? All right?
Ojjwali Prabhu, can you create the breakout rooms, please?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
And we have to also need, we have to know how much time per session.
Yes. Well, 10 minutes.
Specific text, Maharaj, that we can focus on.
Sorry?
Any particular sloka we should focus on?
Yes. I want you to focus on this particular sloka. It's number 36 and 37 also. You can go into 37 too.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Maharaj, 38 as well?
Just a minute, I'll just check. Okay, yes. Okay, you can give, since we have how many groups? Six groups?
No, Maharaj, we have 3 groups.
Only 3 groups.
Yes.
I thought we had,
If you want, I can make 6 groups.
yeah, I think I'd prefer 6 groups, and then you could put 4 people in each group.
Okay, Maharaj.
And then each group will have, there are 3 slokas, so 1 sloka for each of the 2 groups. Group 1 and 2 will do 36, then 37 will be group 3 and 4, and group 5 and 6 will do 38.
Okay. Requesting all devotees to join their respective rooms. Andula Prabhu, can you click on the options?
Yeah, Prabhu.
There are options in front of you to join the room. Can you kindly join the room? Yes, Radha Murti Mataji, Radhiraj Krishna Prabhu, kindly join your rooms.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I'm sorry, I have to ask you one more time. You have changed the numbers, like a certain group has certain numbers assigned now. Can you, Orisi Prabhu, do you know the?
Yes, I'm going to post on all the groups now, which all
Oh,
verses.
can you join me back in that other group then? Which we were waiting for the question. We have the question, but no numbers.
You can join the room. There is it's open right now.
Came out of that room, right? How do I join back?
Wait. Oh, okay. Okay, check now. I've done some changes.
And the other groups didn't join. ओ जी हरे कृष्णा
मेन रूम में हम ही 3 लोग हैं।
बाकियों का शायद खत्म मतलब उनका टाइम नहीं हुआ महाराज ने हमको बोला यहाँ से निकलो तो हम निकल गए वो सब डिस्कस कर रहे हैं वो रश्मि नित्यानंद वो माता जी एक वर्ष का परपोर्ट है ना 9.32 का स्त्री समथिंग दिस वैश्य तथा शूद्र पर इसमें है ना प्रभुपाद का पर्पट की दिस दे माइट बी कंसिडर्ड दिस दैट बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस मैन वुमेन एवरीवन इज इक्वल वो किधर है मैं ढूंढ रहा था नहीं मिला
प्रभु जी वो 36 में दिया हुआ है वही स्टेटमेंट प्रभुपाद 36 में भी लिख
which
रहे हैं
one which
you
one
just see
36
it in
verse
36 verse yes same in
oh
purport he's writing the given same statement
इसका 936।
यही मैं प्रभु the same chapter 14 chapter
अच्छा
36
पिछले
verse
पिछले में 936।
in Bhagavatam
in Bhagavatam
no but I was asking about
9.14.36
okay
पिछले पिछले वर्ष
same
में बोल रहे हैं।
पिछले वर्ष में दिया sorry
36 हाँ
yes
हाँ हाँ परपट में है।
hmm. Yeah, I got it. Perfect. Thank you. Anandulal Bro. So
Hare
your
Krishna,
group,
Prabhu.
Anandulal Prabhu, Radhamurti Mataji, Rasmai Mataji, and
I'm
Jai
a,
Guru Prabhu.
yeah, we
So
all
did you
finished.
did you sufficiently criticize all the Matajis?
No, no, Prabhu.
I think breakout room didn't finish. I don't know.
I
Okay.
think they have not set the time. That's why they are not unable to come out. Somebody has to go in their group. Remind them.
Anandulal Prabhu, you know who was our fourth member? Maharaj.
Yeah. Who?
Maharaj was the member, fourth member.
Oh, which Maharaj? Mana-
Maharaj, come on, Narsimha Maharaj.
Narasimha Maharaj. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
We had only 3 people in our group.
We had 3 plus Maharaj. Bonus.
Oh, your group.
it was not bonus he was the main member
So we could not criticize much. Anyways, okay. Maybe Rasmi
Maharaj
Nityan.
must be visiting different groups
Is
because
everyone back?
No,
Oh,
he's
yes
here.
Maharaj
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, no, not everywhere. Only 2 groups are back.
Well, look, tell everyone to come back. How do you do it? Who's there?
Okay, let me write in the chat.
We have
Please
should be some way you tell everyone close the group.
all come back.
Maybe just call Ojasvi Prabhu because he was trying to make the
Waiting,
group.
waiting, and waiting. I wrote in the WhatsApp group, Maharaj. So devotees should come back.
I don't know whether you can reach out through this chat, Prabhu. This chat is for the main session. The breakout rooms, I don't know if you can reach it. Okay, let me call Leela Mataji and talk to her. Tell her.
Somebody should have been there to coordinate the groups, and then when we tell everyone to close the groups so they all come back.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah, we have to close the groups. Everyone has to come back.
Yeah, they're all
Yes,
back,
Prabhu.
Maharaj.
Everyone's back?
Maharaj,
Yes.
your hand is raised. Okay.
Okay, everyone's back. All right, I want to hear from the first group. And group 2 also, prepare. Who's the spokesman for group 1? Where's the group 1? Who's in it?
Sundari Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, Maharaj. As of what we discussed, Ati Chandra Govind Prabhu had a point that some in Kerala there is a group who's one person who said that like if Bhagavad Gita has a line which says that this Striya from Papa Yoni, then why should we read such literature? So, I mean, there are people who claim like that. So, from my side, when different people have different approaches. I mean, for me, I would say I would rather not get into controversial things if they don't want to read it. But, somebody has become like a sly woman. It is because of a circumstance. Nobody is like, suddenly becomes a very bad person. Because of certain circumstances, lower nature comes out. If the woman is properly protected and loved, she will become very nice and chaste. But if she is not, then, just left like that, the Varna Shankaras are there, then they become into like sly women. So we should give them an opportunity. And like if I have a certain grade, I get into certain university. So if the men don't control their senses, they get certain this kind of women only. So if they are having higher qualities, they will not encounter such people. They will not even entertain. Actually, some people cannot. Some men are so well cultured that they cannot see uncultured women. They, it's like birds of feather flock together. So that's why it is more important to practice Krishna consciousness if you want to stay away from sly women. And for even a sly, that sly fox-like woman, if she practices Krishna consciousness, she really gets connected to the real source of love. Because what she is also looking for is she's looking for love of Krishna. She's just, she is distracted. She's not on the right track because she's not approaching the right goal. She's looking for love in all other wrong directions, which she's not ever going to get. So first off, I would not get into controversial. I would just befriend people. If this topics come, I would not talk about it. But even if the topic comes that, there are people like this, I want to handle it with a lot of love and compassion. Yes, there are people, there are varieties of people. But there is a reason why somebody becomes like that. Some people become thieves because, their parents did not take care or they were not well trained. So there is a need of practicing Krishna consciousness. There's a need for ISKCON philosophically presenting the philosophy properly so that people understand what is the goal of life. Because they don't know the goal, all such things are happening. So this is my...
All right, thank you, Mataji. Any comments, anybody?
It could be because of the previous karma, the nature, why some certain women are born in certain state of and place and circumstance also. So we have examples like Kubja in Bhagavatam. She's in a prostitute community, but then she's delivered by Krishna by his mercy. So that's something I want to add, Maharaj.
Okay, so you're saying it's not really her fault, it was just her nature.
In some cases, yes. In some cases, it's circumstance.
Well, we do see people, Mataji was saying, our real position is to love Krishna, but not every woman comes to Krishna consciousness thinking, I want to love Krishna. You do get a lot of women coming to Krishna consciousness and they just want a husband, they just want a man. And often when people are getting married, they don't really think, I want a devotee of Krishna. They just want a husband, they're not so much worried about is he a devotee or like that? Not every woman. A lot of women, they just simply want a man. They want somebody to take care of them and look after them. And Prabhupada tells how you do get women coming to the holy place, and they will present themselves as being devotee and pious people, but they may not be actually so good. And often they get a man who's also not very good, That the man they attract is not really the devotee. They get somebody who is actually a rascal. And so the woman came with, another intention, and they get a man who has another intention also. So if you want to be cheated, you find a cheater. So it works both ways, Certainly you get men who are sly and cunning. It's not only women who are sly and cunning. We're also can be very sly and cunning.
So that is why Prabhupada also says the Vedic practice is that a woman or man should not be allowed to choose their own husband or wife, but it should be the parents who should choose the match for them, because then they, out of their experience and better understanding, they can do it. Whereas if the woman or man choose for themselves, then they could be driven just by sense gratification, as we see here in the example of Urvashi. They were just attracted to external bodily features rather than seeing if they were really suited for each other.
Yes. So?
Can I add something to that, Maharaj? I think if the parents are educated, yes. But
If the parents
many
what?
times, if the parents were educated in the proper knowledge, yes, I would agree. Their choices are good. But many parents, nowadays they're not really educated because in the culture, they're probably educated in the educational system, the other system, material education, but they don't have any cultural education or any knowledge, or being from a Sudra mindset, they can miss that what kind of the person they are looking for their daughter and things like that. I have personal experience, that's why I'm trying to fight this point. But I think the basic thing, we are from group 3, right, Mataji? So the basic thing is what we understand is, unless a person becomes a devotee, good qualities will not be developed. So from Srimad Bhagavatam 5.18.12, we understand that all good qualities will manifest in that person who has taken to Krishna consciousness. And also in Kali Yuga, everybody is Sudra. By training, one can be lifted. And it's important that, yes, women need to be trained. If parents are not trained, at least the women need to be trained. And men, not just women, everybody need to be trained. Women and men, both. We have examples like Mandodari and Surpanaka, who present in the bad qualities of women, right? But we still have Sita Devi, Mandodari, and Draupadi, who present the chaste and faithful qualities, even though they have been through difficult circumstances in each and every individual, pastimes. So by good sadhana, good character can be developed. By practice of Krishna consciousness, we can become better, and we can uplift ourselves. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also had so much teachings with Sanatana Goswami about many good qualities are developed in a Vaishnava. So one has to strive to become a Vaishnava to develop those good qualities. I know group 2 is supposed to go. I'm sorry to jump.
Okay, thank you, Maraji. So, what about group 2? Is someone there to speak?
Yes, Maharaj. In group 2, Rasamai, and then Jai Govinda Prabhu and Anandulal Prabhu. Three of us were there. So we also had to discuss about verse 36. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is writing that women are compared to Shudras and Vaishyas. But we see that in the Shastras it says that Kalau Shudra Sambhava. In Kali Yuga, everybody is a Shudra. So in that sense, when we see, then there's no distinction between man and a woman because everybody have the same characteristic. So based on this, if they say women are less intelligent, I just remember one pastime of Srila Prabhupada where all the Prabhus were calling Matajis less intelligent and they were degrading them. Then when the Matajis went to Srila Prabhupada and complained about this, Prabhupada was upset. He said, they are less intelligent. You know, when a woman takes up to Krishna consciousness, she is the most intelligent. And my daughters are doing better than my sons. You know, so he was encouraging like that. You know that once you become Krishna conscious, then you're more intelligent because you're on the spiritual platform. And also we see that women actually they play a pivotal role in the society. It starts from the family, taking care of the family. In one of the lectures, I heard Maharaj, somebody was saying that they were talking about how their neighbor's husband was degrading their wife, saying that you are less interested, even though she was, she was very good she had many skills, but the husband was degrading her like that. So, and then he was troubling her like that. So then the person who was on the Vyasasana, he said, okay, I understand, okay, that women are less intelligent, but how less intelligent he must be to have married a less intelligent woman. So we need to say that, if somebody is really intelligent, then they will not be talking about these things. So the real intelligence is about being Krishna conscious and
The devotee has come to invite you, that's why I took you. Okay, I'm just giving a glass here. You have to wait. Yeah. Okay, Mataji, thank you very much. That's very nice. Very interesting. Yes, group 4. Any spokesman is there?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Oh, okay, Prabhu, yes, go ahead.
So as Maharaj, you were in the group, so you heard most of the points, so we'll just repeat. My group was Rasma Nityananda Prabhu, Pandav Saki Mataji, and myself. Maharaj, we understood that the question which you asked according to us was how the statements which were made could be misused. So we were working more on how they could be misused rather than the solutions. So we could gather a few points, Maharaj. One is that how these statements could be generalized against women, and any man who has a problem in relationship with women, they can just quote or just can hide behind this verse, oh, you are like this, you are like that, even the scripture says this. That's point number one.
Yes, good point.
Second, it can also be incorporated in the spiritual community for their spiritual growth. It might happen that they're not given some leadership roles or the roles where they can be the face and they can connect directly with the people, more spiritual responsibilities. So this could also be done to them, that they're not allowed to be in the forefront. That's the second thing. Third thing, which Rasmanityan Prabhu said, that how they could be dominated using these references, that how like this, like this, like this, and then so you, in the name of giving protection, they could be dominated, and all these things could be used against them. So these were the three main points, Maharaj, which our team was thinking about. and then Pandav Sakhi Mataji gave a. Then we were working on the solution. So Mataji gave a she quoted the purport of Prabhupada in the 36th verse, that on the spiritual platform, where Prabhupada says, on the spiritual platform, however, when one is elevated to the platform of Krishna consciousness, whether one is a man, woman, or Shudra, or whatever, everyone is equal. So that was our.
Yes,
Thank
very
you,
good.
Maharaj.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Very nice points.
And
You-
Maharaj, could I add one more point if you permit?
Yes, please.
Yes, Maharaj, I messaged Prabhu also. Maharaj, and we can also see the case that this verse is talking about the cleverness or the fox-like situation of the women. But we also see when Prabhupada quotes in the Dwarka pastimes and in the Brahman Patnis pastimes, how those Brahman Patnis were more agreeable, and they accepted the Lord more than the Brahmins could do. And in Dwarka pastimes also, on the streets, when the women were outnumbered the men, so women are more prone to dharma, and this is just based on the circumstances or the this statement has been given. So
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
all, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, very good point. Yeah, women are certainly more prone to dharma, and that point also comes out. I think it's in prayers by Queen Kunti that we find women in much greater number than men in religious functions. Thank you, Maraji. Yes. All right, we're in group 5. Any spokesman is there?
Yes, Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, I'm from group 5. We had Vimala Prasad Prabhu, Ojasi Krishna Prabhu, and myself in the group. So we had a nice discussion. So the main points discussed were that Vimala Prasad Prabhu was saying that in this purport, the most important point is that the last sentence, that the nature of a woman, as personally described by Urvashi, is to establish false friendship with someone and then seek new male companions one after another, even if this means giving up the company of a sincere well-wisher. So he was saying that that is the main point here, that giving up the company of a sincere well-wisher. So this could also be applied to a man who will give up a company of a sincere well-wisher, not just the women. And also another point Ojasi Krishna Prabhu brought out was that in Bhagavad Gita in 5.22, Ehi Samsparshaja Bhoga, there it is mentioned that actually intelligence is gender neutral. So anyone who is attached to sense gratification, that person is less intelligent. So that is applicable to anyone who is attached to, whether man or woman, if they are attached to sense gratification, then they're less intelligent. And also it is, another point we discussed was that how we can, better not to get into these controversial statements, and also we can support it by saying that, not support, we can pacify people who are too much affected or thinking about this by quoting how Bhagavatam glorifies women, like Kunti Devi, Uttara, and we see so many women that they're being glorified in Bhagavatam, and Srila Prabhupada also glorifies them in the purports. And also Vimala Prasad Prabhu was saying that Prabhupada has mentioned in many places that women are less intelligent, but we don't see Prabhupada mentioning that men are more intelligent.
Yes.
That is what's, so these are some of the points we discussed, Maharaj.
Okay, very good.
Ojasi Prabhu or Vimala Prasad Prabhu, would you like to add something?
No, Mataji, you shared everything.
I think everything, yeah. Okay. What about group 6?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes, Mataji.
Please accept my humble obeisances. In group 6, we discussed the text 38, and in our group we had Amala Manjari Mataji and Divya Shri Mataji. So we discussed about how this verse basically it describes about the nature of women who are especially independent or they are given the false freedom. So those kind of women are more prone to the qualities that were given in this verse. So when this kind of verse, like someone reads suddenly, or there's a class going on, and somebody comes and hears this verse, so naturally they'll get offended, or they'll say, "Why are you telling about women like this?" So in that case, we have to explain to them that this is not about the general woman altogether, but this is for the people who want to have this false freedom. And then we should explain how the Vedic system shows that a woman should always be under proper protection. And this is not because they are low or they need to be protected or they are not to put them inferior, but actually because, as Prabhupada explains in first canto, when and Draupadi is wanting to free Ashwatthama, and others are telling that they should kill Ashwatthama. So Prabhupada explains that women are soft-hearted by nature, and also women are emotional. So therefore, this quality is needed for women because they are going to be mothers. They need this quality for the society. But because of this nature, sometimes they can be exploited, and sometimes they, just like we see Draupadi, she was ready to forgive Ashwatthama. So therefore, they need to be under the guidance of men who have rational intelligence and who are also trained properly. So it is not under the protection of men. If the men are not trained properly, then there is no use of that protection actually. So it is both ways. So women also have to be trained to be under protection, to be chaste, and men have to be trained properly. And Divyashree Mataji wonderfully explained how in other religion this parda system is taught to the girls and they follow it more. But whereas in our in the Hindu dharma, this is not so much taught, and their women are taught to be more independent, be on yourself. This is more taught to them. So we need to work on our teaching also. And one more point was, as you had mentioned, Maharaj, more a situation where women are like this, as explained by Urvashi, is more found in broken families where the child is raised by single father or single mother. So this is because they are lacking attention, the attention that they need. And both men or women, especially women, they want attention. That is a nature. They want to be loved, they want to do something. So when they do not get the attention, then they seek it outside. So therefore, the parents have to be united so that these kind of children do not come in future.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Yes, certainly. We don't want these children to come in the future, right? We want them to go back to Godhead. So, anyway, Urvashi has spoken very harsh words. She's spoken very pointed words clearly to her husband to bring him out of his illusion. You know, he was so infatuated in love with her body and so much eager to have her company again, but she's a bit more realistic and she explains the nature of women. But anyway, she agrees to give him some concession. The once a year will come with you. And so in this way, Pururava got some association once a year. And you'll see, however, in the 11th canto, he comes to his senses. In the Ila Gita, you'll hear Pururava speaking, and he's really understood the nature of the material body. And it's very wonderful to read that 11th canto, the Ila Gita, and he really came to his senses. Okay, so anyway, he became so attracted to Urvashi and that he followed her to the heavenly planets. He followed her up to the heavenly planets. He was given a fake girl and it didn't work. He wanted to enjoy Urvashi. And so he went off to the heavenly planets after her, that he could enjoy her company there. Okay, so where are we? Almost finished. So he wanted to go to that planet where Urvasi was. And Prabhupada talks about, as we heard from the other Prabhu, the Kali, the next Yuga was beginning, Satya Yuga was ending, Treta Yuga was beginning, and Treta Yuga, the system was Yagna. And the real Yagna, which is performed in the Kali Yuga, of course, is Sankirtan. Kali Yuga Dharma, Hari Nam Sankirtan. So that is the real Yagya for a Kali Yuga. If we do the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, that Sankirtan, that is the real yagya. We don't have to do any other yagyas. And that yagya will take us to the spiritual world. All right, so it's 6 o'clock. We will stop here. Are there any questions? Anybody? If there are no questions, then we'll meet tomorrow. We're going to go on and to hear about Parasuram. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.